All right, Bruchim Aboyim, welcome everyone. It is Friday, and we try our best to learn a little bit from my holy ancestor, the Maharal of Prague. And I dedicate this shiur in memory of the Rav who I had growing up in the shul, my Babin Zayda Davin, Rabbi Barry Hammer, Rabbi Yomin Henich, Ben Rabbi Moshe Yitzchak, Hareni Kaparas Mishkava. He was nifter suddenly yesterday. It's a big loss to the Klal Yisrael. He's a Yid with Ofkatina Zoisach for the Klal. Sai himself in Rabbanis, but also in teaching and serving with the National Council of Young Israel as the head of the rabbinical services. I always I have a lot of regrets that I didn't show him proper kavod, but Baruch Hashem, I did get to see him one time before his patira a few months ago. He was up here in the Catskills, and it was nice to go to see him. We had a nice conversation. It was a very big simcha to see him, and this big loss to the Klal Yisrael that he's not here anymore. And so much of the Torah that I have and the Yiddishkeit I have was because of him, and so I have to have tremendous hakaras hatov for everything he did for me and for the Klal Yisrael. We are in Parshas Devarim, starting the book of Deuteronomy, and I want to talk something about this, but at this point we should really just learn. And there's a verse in Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 27 that I like to look at. It says, V'tirognu ba'oleichem v'tomru b'sin'as Adonai osanu hotzianu me'eretz Mitzrayim l'seisei sanu v'yad hamari lashmidenu. You complained in your tents, and you said, because of the hatred that the Lord has for us, he took us out from the land of Egypt to give us into the hand of the Amorite to destroy us. Rashi says, Lashon Hara, Teragnu is Lashon Hara, Divrei Nirgun, Adam Moitzi Diba, that a person saying Lashon Hara, starting to rain, I'm going to go in. And then he's speaking slander against God. Besinas Hashem Oisanu, that the Lord hated us, but he loved you. But you hated him. So it's a comparison to a simple saying, that whatever you think about your friend, or you think that your friend thinks about you, is really what's in your heart against the friend. It's the idea of projection that we talk about in psychology. And so the Heilige Zayder Maharal Prague explains if that's not the case, it would have been enough to say he took us out from Egypt to give us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us. But it comes to tell us it's because they hated God. And because they hated him, they thought that he hated them. So there's another Rashi. So since Hashem Oisanu Yitzianu me'eretz Mitzrayim, that because the Lord hated us, he took us out from the land of Egypt. So he took us out because he hated us. Mashal Melech Basav Adam. We can compare this to a parable of a flesh and blood king. Shahayoloi Shnei Banim. He had two sons and he had two fields. Achash shel Shikia v'achash shel Baal. So one was What does it mean? Shikia. Let's see. One was well watered, and one was arid. Eretz Mitzrayim shel Shikyahi. So Egypt, because of the Nile River, it never rains there, but they have the irrigation from the Nile River. Shanilas Olam Ashkai, so the Nile River comes up and irrigates Egypt. Eretz Canaan shel Baal. But the land of Canaan relies on rain. And he took us out to give us Canaan. And the question is, which of these two are which one do you give to the son that you want to hear from? The son you don't want to hear from, you give him everything so he leaves you alone. But the son that you love and you want to hear from him, you don't give him so much, so he should give you a call, Pop, I need something. Okay, it's good to hear from you, let's talk. So, the Heilige Zayda Maharal explains to him, if this is one of the case, what? God hated them, so he took them out of Egypt where they were slaves? Avol mashal. So Rashi brings this parable. Picture Re'im. So Re'im has a question. Shema kasav kshutai. That's what the scripture says in a simple way. B'shvil sinasan hetzion mitzrayim. That because he hated us, he took us out from Egypt to give us in the hand of the Amorite. So why do we need the parable? So the Maharal explains, I say, the words of our sages are true. It's difficult what the scripture said. It said that God said to take them, to give them to the hands of the Amorite. How do they even think about such a thing? If that's the case, if God just wanted to destroy them, he could have given them to Pharaoh. He's going to take them all the way over there, just give them to the Canaanites? Be at Amalek, or they defeat the Amalekites? Why didn't he just let them be defeated by the Amalekites? Other nations came and fought with him. If he just wanted to destroy them, he could have given to them. Why did he split the sea for them? So it must be that God took them out of Egypt because he doesn't want them to have that good land, Egypt. The Egypt's a better land because it's irrigated. But he didn't want to destroy them altogether, he just wanted to make their lives difficult. Like I was watching yesterday a documentary about the meaning of the movie Fiddler on the Roof, and you see, I'm not a big fan of that movie, to be honest. I prefer the Maurice Schwartz 1939 Tevye movie, if I'm picking one of the two. But anyway, with that being said, he points out how Tevye's character, anything that's good he sees as a curse, and anything that's bad he sees as a blessing, because he had a certain hashkafa. Anyway, this is not how it is. So the way they understood it was that the hatred was taken them out of Egypt, not to leave them in Egypt. Give them the land of Canaan, which they were saying is not so good, because it's not irrigated, it depends on the rain. That's what it says, to give us in the land of the Amorites to destroy us. It's not that the Amorites would kill them, to give them the hands of the Amorite, even though they could destroy them. If they destroyed the Amorites, that's acceptable, God, because they don't want to destroy them. just opposite. Talmud Hayim Matzloisam. He always rescued them. Amru, and they said, "Shekadosh Baruch Hu Noisei Noisam B'Yad Amori." That God gave them the hand of the Amorites. After it's possible He could destroy them. This was because He hated them. They didn't want to leave them in Egypt. Mishum Oisa Sinam, because of that hatred. They didn't want to leave them in the land of Egypt. He doesn't care if He gives them into the danger of the Amorites. Because if He didn't hate them, then He wouldn't give them into this danger to destroy them in the hands of the Amorite. Because the way they were looking at it, that being irrigated, Egypt was very good. Inami, if that's the case, they shouldn't have written to take them out of Egypt. So that can't be the right shot, the right understanding, because it should have said then, because the Lord hated us, He brought us into the land to give us into the hand of the Amorites. Why is it mentioning the Exodus? Why isn't it only mentioning bringing them in? So that seems to be what Rashi is saying, because that he's saying that the Exodus was because of hatred. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. You can say hi to the tortoise. Oops, sorry. All right. Shabbos, everybody.
All right. You guys ready to go?
You can show Kathy how cute you are.
I know. She showed me she's Shabbos mommy. She's Shabbos mommy the Shabbos?
Joe, I just made some action. Can you make a kugel?
Okay. How do I turn this thing off? Did you see that?
You want to bring your
Why isn't this thing turning off?
You sure you want to put your dog or